Hi there, I'm Carrie Grant, and this week is Autism Awareness Week. So in order to celebrate it and raise awareness, I thought I'd have a chat with one of my autistic friends about what it's like at the point where you leave school and you go off to university. Welcome to Siena Castellon. Siena, what was school like for you?
I had a very challenging experience at school. I had to go to over 11 schools. There was one where I only lasted 5 weeks because I was bullied by both students and teachers. They would say, oh, you're robotic, you're weird, you're a bit of a psycho, because I didn't have facial expression. And then I would be like, okay, this is just this group of people being mean. And then I would move to another school and they would say the same thing. And the whole time it was hard for me to recognize that these were just mean people. I kept on kind of thinking it was my fault that they were treating me that way, that I was kind of the common denominator in all these situations.
Why don't you tell us how well you've done in terms of your results and where you're hoping to head off to?
I completed my A-levels and I got A stars in math, further math and physics, which I was really happy about. And I have a place at Stanford University and I want to go to study mechanical engineering.
Was there ever a time where you thought, well, I won't be able to do that because I'm autistic? Had that self-esteem stuff got to you to the point where you just couldn't believe that you would be able to do something like this?
There were times when I thought that I wasn't going to finish secondary school. I remember one time, like a week before I took one of my GCSEs, I was getting like a B and a C, and I somehow just crammed it in, so I got an A star in the end. But that was the level of disruption that I was having to my education. When I was actually applying to university, I had to list all the schools I'd been to. I'd gone to so many that the form didn't have space for them. So I knew that like I was going to have to explain this. They were going to think, what is up with this? So I definitely thought my autism and the disruption to my education would be a barrier to going to university.
It feels to me that you have gained your qualifications almost in spite of school.
Yeah, I mean, completely in spite of school. I took economics for AS, and I had a teacher who told me that she wouldn't allow me to take the exam because she believed that I was going to do badly because of my neurodiversity. I'm autistic, but I'm also dyslexic, dyspraxic, and have ADHD. I had to take the exam at another center. I got the highest grade you could get on AS, which is an A, but that was completely in spite of my teacher.
As you contemplate going to university, are you hoping for a better response with the higher level of education?
But I genuinely believe that that there's an opportunity here for things to be a lot better. The problem that I have is when schools is very regimented and they're very strict with where you can be, what you can wear. You know, I went to a school where you had to wear a school uniform, and if you wanted to leave the classroom, you had to ask for permission. So if I got a panic attack, I had to explain that to a teacher while having a panic attack. If you're at university, you're an adult, you can just get up and leave. You can, wear whatever you want to wear. You can take classes where you want to take classes. You can pick buildings that you like. You can pick your teachers. And so I think that ability for me to make reasonable adjustments for myself instead of having to ask someone who's probably neurotypical of the reasonable adjustments, that's really going to help me.
When you're going off to university, obviously we've all been in lockdown. What do you think are the main challenges for autistic people right at this point where they are either going off to study or somehow they're doing it online? What would be the challenges in this coming year?
I had a conversation with my mom. It may be online. Like you may not even be going to California. You may not be able to live on campus. Yeah. And we had all these questions and I'm like, okay, I can't plan for this. And that was something that really bothered me because I love being able to do that. And so when people say, oh, you're going to university, I have no idea what that's going to look like.
In the last year, most people haven't had lots of opportunities to be socializing and communicating face to face. Do you think there's ever a point for autistic people where they feel rusty or out of practice with communication, or does that not happen?
Well, I think that's definitely going to happen with me. The other day, I was at an awards ceremony, a virtual awards ceremony, and I was just able to kind of join the call, give a little speech, virtually accept my award, and then leave. And it was just so nice. But I was thinking about like what it would have been like if COVID hadn't happened. If that hadn't happened, I would have had to go to the event, go on the tube, go socialize with all these people, go, accept my award with loud music playing and all of that.
What would you like educational establishments to do or to know? If there was a couple of things that you like, if they just knew this bit, that would really help people like me.
My mom tried to get me diagnosed with dyslexia when I was 5, and the school said no because she's kind of able to read, and dyslexic people can't read. And so that meant that it took me 5 more years to get diagnosed. So that was time that I wasn't getting the support I needed. You know, they would say, oh, she doesn't smile, she doesn't make facial expressions. Nobody thought, okay, she could be autistic. And if they had known just basic things about, you know, neurodivergence, I mean, I've gotten other comments once they've been diagnosed, like ADHD doesn't exist. It's just parents who can't take care of their children, and their children become out of control, and then they're embarrassed by it, so they come up with a diagnosis. So I recommend, you know, just going on YouTube and just watching a little bit, just educating yourself on how to identify and support your neurodivergent students.
Thank you so much.
I hope everyone enjoys their Autism Awareness Week.